Hello to all the geek enthusiasts and nerd aficionados. Mess 5150 here with another MaliceCast live. This is season 2, episode 14. It is International Robotics Week, so we're going to talk some robotic stuff a little later. And
like a robot.
What's that?
I'm going to sound like a robot from time to time.
You sound like a robot majority of the time right now, and we just decided to bring that. So. Yeah,
nice.
Son of Maku says he's seen better pre-shows. I agree.
He's been part of better pre-shows.
So, but yeah, let's talk about who's on the cast with us. As always, majority of the time, my co-host, Beacon. Welcome.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to everybody in the chat room so far with Red Me Paw and Son of Maku. Of the tribe Maku.
He says better pre-shows. He's been better pre-shows.
Yeah. Yeah. Life's good.
Yeah. Also, joining us is our editor-in-chief for the website that brings you all of the Malice Corp content, malice-corp.com. We have Nudie Rudy. Say hey.
Hey there, everybody. I'm glad to be back here. Talk about robots and some good TV movie trailers coming up.
Lots of movie trailer talk is going to end up happening today because a lot of movie trailers came out this week. So.
Welcome Pride into the chat room as well. Good to see you there, Pride.
Thank you guys for joining us. We also have our female persuasion Super Hoovian Freak along with us.
Yeah, I am here. It's been a week, but it's a good week, and it's time to talk some movie trailers.
AKA the token female.
Oh, token female.
The token
female. Or the talking female, which is rare in today's world.
And Pride, I'm just assuming doing a Fat Albert impersonation because we have in the chat. That's if I see 3 hays, that's the way I'm gonna read it.
That's the picture I get in my head. Absolutely.
When he comes on World of Warcraft, he always imitates the Murlocs, which is the fish. So we usually just get out of him.
Love
and that distant voice that you hear that's having some difficulties at having been traveling far away is our
intrepid long distance reporter, apparently.
Yeah, I see Zorro
coming to us from the bottom of the ocean, apparently.
Yeah. It seems that
down there with the Meg.
My internet speed got caught in France somehow, so this is not working great.
Yeah. So, that's what we get.
Well, I mean, luckily I already had a profile picture with a beret on, so it works.
Yeah, it's the whole coming back from France. Did you get a new beret?
A beret?
I did not.
Oh, for shame.
I got a lot of wine though.
That thing happens a lot. I would assume anywhere you go. So.
You are not wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't take a trip to France to fulfill that order.
What's the store on the corner? Yeah. Pride9 says he is transmitting live from Cafe Do Re Mi. I had to double take and look at that first because I was like, am I reading something I shouldn't be?
Auto-tuned? I don't.
Either that or the restaurant at the end of the universe, one of the two.
Yeah.
Not sure which one yet.
So tonight's episode, we're going to be talking a lot of trailer talk. We have all types of movies that came out with trailers this week, and we're going to give our thoughts on those. Love them, hate them, otherwise. And then along with that, we're bringing back a favorite for MaliceCast, at least for the next 2 weeks. And the Nerd Fight is coming back for this week. It is International Robot Week, and we figured it was time to have a new Nerd Fight. And this week's Nerd Fight, or the next 2 weeks' Nerd Fight, is going to be Best Robot in Television or Film. So as always, in the chat room, if you have choices that you would like to see in the Nerd Fight poll, please drop a line into the chat room telling us your pick for best robot in TV or film. So, and welcome Marley-Ba to the chat room. Let's start off the
And
cast.
Polyfuse too.
Oh wow!
Welcome Polyfuse.
Everybody came at the same time.
Dropping a
let's-
Jacques Cousteau reference there for I See
going
Zorro.
back to going back to how we always start talking about what we've been geeking out on. That being the case, I know two people have been geeking out on stuff somewhat. We have a world traveler and we have somebody hitting a new movie. So I'm gonna go right to you first, Beacon. What have you been geeking out on?
Well, first, I've been geeking out on this wonderful journey that the Big Papa Matt and I have been on, Quest for 100. We just dropped episode 5, as well as episode 5.5 last night. That's on iTunes and Stitcher, now available. We talk 5.5 is all about Ready Player One. So it's just about 38 minutes of us talking our thoughts on Ready Player One. Two other things I want to talk about real super quick. I finished the Shape of Water audiobook. So that is Shape of Water, obviously the Oscar-winning movie.
Mhm.
The book is written by Guillermo del Toro and Dan Krause. There we go. David Krause, Dan Krause. It's D Krause. Anyway, amazing book. If you've seen the film, it adds so much more depth actually to the film. So it's basically written off of the screenplay.
Okay.
So it's one of those like they don't take away from each other. They actually add to each other. So it's really super cool. I highly recommend it, especially if you're a Shape of Water fan like I am. And the last thing is I just got back from watching Rampage. So being an 80s kid growing up playing a lot of Rampage in the arcade as well as on the old school Nintendo, it was a fun movie. It was a fun movie as far as video games being changed into movies go. It's not going to win any awards, but it was fun.
Yeah, and Marley-Ba said that she's been grading so many papers and making so many students realize that they have to work for their grades. They have now worked out that they need to give me complete ideas. We're negotiating for complete sentences.
Yes. And names on paper, probably.
That's a geeking out thing, getting those complete sentences going. So,
You can kind of figure out how old somebody is by if they use punctuation in their texts.
Punctuation in their tests. Spelling out the words completely instead of, using numbers and single letters.
I'm dead serious, like putting your damn name on your paper. Just saying. It's an epidemic. It's an epidemic
Don't
with
just
you.
put your name on your paper, but spell your name correctly.
Put your name on
oh
it.
my God.
Yeah, when you don't spell your own name right, I'm very worried for whatever it is I'm about to read.
Well, we like people writing about stuff that they like to write about over on malice-corp.com. If you're learning how to write properly, just come on over to malicecorp.com, apply to be a writer, and Mr. Nudie Rudy will teach you the ways of proper grammar.
Yeah.
Through whips and beatings, he will eventually teach
You will
you.
learn for comma, okay?
Yeah.
No, maybe with you guys, I get the disappointed dad voice.
Usual high school party.
One more time, Nudie.
One more time.
Said chips, dips, change whips, your usual high school party.
And we got that. Where did I just saw that? Somebody went and saw the Polyfuse, saw Ready Player One and A Quiet Place. So
Nice.
I highly recommend Quiet Place.
So does Stephen.
Yes. Did you see his tweet? Stephen King was like talking about how amazing the fact of lack of sound just makes that movie come to life. It's fantastic the way that they use the lack of sound and silence. It's fantastic. Just get yourself into a good theater, please. Get yourself into a good theater.
not one where they're actually talking through the whole thing.
Yeah. I don't want to nerd rage right now, so
I heard that most people, when they see that, the theaters are just silent.
No, that is not my
That's what we
experience.
went to. Yeah,
It's the worst
I guess
experience I've ever been in.
it may have been good that I didn't go to the screening for it at WonderCon, because I assume that was probably the same type of situation where everybody was probably making noise during the screening because you're coming from a convention. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, and plus you're seeing the movie for free. So once again, people are like, "Oh, I'll be an idiot. I don't gotta pay for it."
Yeah, I just had a bunch of tool bags at my.
Yeah. Let's see what else. What have you been geeking out on, Mr. Zorro? Since
Well, clearly, like France for a week, so a lot of old architecture, a lot of really good wine. Discovered I don't really like French food almost at all. Except, I mean, like the daily stuff, crepes and baguettes and like really good sandwiches, those are great. But haute cuisine is not great. Probably just my American palate. But also, in my downtime, I finished all 3 books of the Richard K. Morgan trilogy that starts with Altered Carbon, and it made me realize that show, as good as that show is, bears very little resemblance to the actual storyline in the books. I think they're equally good as intellectual properties, but they're, they share a couple of names and a couple of characterizations, and that's about it.
I was to say, producer Jack Malice said the same thing. He's a big fan of the books and watched the series, and pretty much said the same thing. He had a lot of complaints actually about some of the adaptations that they did with characters.
Well, I watched the series first, and there were definitely some characters in there that are combinations of other characters, but those characters didn't even know each other in the books. In relation, it was all jumbled up. It was like, hey, that's a good idea, and that's a good idea, even though this one's from the first book and that one's from the third book. Let's just mash them up and then put that 4th person's name on it. It was really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, they're all worth their own merits. Just don't compare them to each other.
Yeah.
On that note, welcome back from the land of France.
Merci.
Of mimes and
I would do some miming now, but it would be even blockier than usual.
Yeah. Which we don't need. Super, what have you been geeking out on?
Well, I just got a new book in my futuristic murder mystery series, so I'm going to start reading that tonight.
Is there a new
And
Did she write a new one, or you just finally got it?
she wrote it in February. I just got it now.
Okay.
Nice.
So it came out the end of February. It's called Dark and Death. Should be really good. So I'm going to read that tonight. And then I just caught up on the episodes I was behind on The Flash. I just watched the new Rise. Still really good. Still kicking Glee's butt so far as that show goes. But The Flash, I don't even know. Like, I was so happy with the episode a few weeks ago with Run, Iris, Run. And then this one was just kind of not as good as I was hoping it would be. Though I did like the Cisco and Gypsy's father's interactions, because everyone Cisco interacts with is just awesome. Cisco's my favorite character this season. Him and Harry.
Cisco's a favorite character a lot of seasons.
Yeah.
And Harry is just hilarious. I mean, Tom Cavanaugh, just awesome. So.
Every time.
Yeah, we need more Tom Cavanaugh and more things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Lastly, before I talk about what I've been geeking out on, mine isn't much of anything. But Nudie Rudy, what have you been geeking out on? Did we lose him?
Well, I saw Pacific Rim Uprising this past weekend. That was a lot of fun. Good, mindless robot butt kicking. Quite thoroughly enjoyed that. And
Beacon's shaking his head.
Listen to Quest episode 5.
It's light on plot, but heavy on fun.
Yeah, the action was awesome. Totally agree with you.
Exactly. Yeah. Wouldn't say it was necessarily a good movie, but it was enjoyable. And also finished Stick of Truth. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Finally caught up on that.
Isn't that how you
getting
kind
a lot
of,
more South Park?
Isn't that how Beacon kind of described Rampage in the chat? Was like, wouldn't necessarily say it was a good movie, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Like,
So if you want to go to a double feature, those are the two that you want to go to if you just want to have a ton of fun, but not actually like anything.
It's like movie theater popcorn. It feels good at the time, but you walk out feeling either empty or queasy.
Or both.
Well, what I have been geeking out on personally is getting ready for Infinity War. I went back and I'm binging the entire MCU movies back to back right now. So
That is a heroic undertaking right now, because that is a lot of freaking movies.
well, it's the thing about it is because it's 10 years since the MCU has been around now there's a lot of stuff that's forgotten. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff forgotten. I had watched Iron Man quite a few times, but I still forgot things because it's been so many years since I went back and revisited it. Same thing with Captain America. The first time I watched it, I thought it was a lot more cartoony, and I was like, I don't know if I like this. And it wasn't until Winter Soldier I was like, okay, a little bit darker. I like this. I love Winter Soldier. But I go back and watch it now, and I see there is a little bit of cartoon to it, but I see the serious tone in there as well. And I'm like, this is a good movie. I like it much more now. And that may just be like a fine wine grown with age type of thing, as Zorro would probably say. That it's just
you could be watching it through nostalgic glasses. Are you watching them in the order that they came out, or are you watching them?
I'm not doing Captain America first, and by how they say to do it by the timeline. I'm actually watching the order that they came out because that was the intention of how.
I would like to try watching them with the timeline just to see if that makes it any better, or if it just makes it jumbled. I kind of want to see.
And the other question is, are you also including the TV shows that are
TV shows? No, because I've watched all the TV shows, but what I am doing is I'm watching the one shots where they fall.
The specific episodes. Yeah.
So, not specific episodes, but like Item 47, which was a 11-minute one shot that was a special feature on Avengers.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
That talked about one of the items that fell from the Chitauri. Actually, this guy got it to work and was like going on bank heists with it. And they hired him onto S.H.I.E.L.D. because they needed somebody to figure out how to make these items work. So those type of things I'm watching because I don't have the DVDs, because I was going to try and buy the whole big box set, which I can't do now because Phase 1, the Monster Special Edition box set that came out for Phase 1 is like $900 on Amazon now. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting caught up so that when Infinity Wars hits, I have everything already in mind. In fact, I already have a theory of my own because they have talked about where does the Soul Stone come from. A lot of people are thinking it's the meteor from Wakanda. I'm thinking they may have introduced it even earlier, and it's the element that Tony Stark created to make the new chest piece in Iron Man 2. So, and I think that plus there was a picture earlier where it showed Soul for the stone, and it showed a picture of Tony on one of their things. So I was like, that would be a nice little like twist if they threw that.
That would be cool.
Like, hey, the stone's been there the whole time. You didn't realize it. It's just Tony made it. So
one thing to throw out too is if you're interested in going back and watching all these movies like Mest is, you need to go ahead and hook yourself up with some Amazon Prime. You also need to go ahead and maybe go through our website and actually go get the movies. I know you can buy them on Amazon so that you can stream them later as well. So you can go through malice-corp.com, click on any of our Amazon links, and you can purchase those. And it actually gives us a little bit of, helps us out a little bit, and you get to, enjoy those great movies as well, or even jump into the comics. And I know a lot of people that are trying to read the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Wars comics in preparation for the movie as well. And you can do that by going to Amazon or checking out Turbo Comics. So that's Turbo Comics on Facebook or at Turbo Comics ID on Twitter. So two great resources for you to get ready for Infinity Wars.
Absolutely. Yeah, and have the comics to read and everything and know who these characters are.
Yes.
So, but let's get on to what our main topics are, which is movie trailer talk. There's a lot of movies that came out trailer wise this week. Some big ones. First and foremost, the biggest one that came out was earlier in the week, and that was Solo: A Star Wars Story got a brand new trailer. Did you guys watch it?
I did.
Against my better judgment, I did.
Okay.
I had to watch it after watching the Meg trailer. again.
So I want to know what your thoughts were on it, and let's compare it to the previous trailer, because I know we all talked about the previous trailer. Do you think this was better, where we got a little bit more kind of context? I don't think they were still giving too much of the story away, but that's me.
Yeah, it seems to be a train heist, which looks rad. Paul Bettany is the one behind putting together the team. Love Paul Bettany and everything he's in. And we got more Donald Glover as Lando. So, yeah, it had all the things I needed it to hit.
Well, I think it hit Beacon's favorite stuff, definitely, because you got more Chewie in there.
I did get a lot of Chewie, and I found out how old Chewie is.
Yeah, no kidding.
Trailer, which was interesting. The reason I say like against my better judgment is I've been trying to take a note from the Big Papa Matt and just avoid trailers at this point, because too often they give away too much. I don't know that this trailer did that exactly, but it definitely gave me, I don't know, it gave me a lot more than probably what I care to see. Like I'd rather just go and experience the movie and not go in with some preconceived notion about what might happen or what I think should happen, and just enjoy the movie. And that's just my experience now with being at like 28 movies this year. Like, you know what I mean? You see a lot of trailers, and so I'm kind of getting tired of watching trailers at this point. But that's just me. I still watch the ones we're going to talk about though, so I've got an opinion.
Well, and I think what I liked about this trailer is it gives a little bit more of who all these characters are, type of thing, like what their purpose is in the film. So it gives you more of a, like I said, it wasn't a lot of exposition on them, but like this is their place. Like Woody Harrelson is the guy, I'm looking for people for a job, and the chick from Game of Thrones is the somewhat love interest, and so. But it gives you like, okay, now I want to know a little bit more about these characters, because you're showing
everybody's love interest. Doesn't matter what she's.
Millennium Falcon is his real love interest.
Yes, there you go.
So, what did you think, Super?
I liked it. I mean, I didn't think it showed too much, but I liked Woody Harrelson. I like seeing the train heist, like you said. I mean, that was one of my favorite Firefly episodes, talking of train heists, when they robbed, the train to steal the medicine, and then ended up having to give it back and having to sneak it back on. And so who doesn't like a train heist movie, or a heist movie of any kind? And I'm excited. I think it's going to be really good.
Jack brings up the most sources have Chewie being born 200 BBY. You guys are going to have to help me on that.
He's just referencing Legends books that all reference the age of Chewie, and that's fine. It's just one of those. I don't know. I don't know that.
Polyfuse says for Solo, gambling is the first love, the Wookiee is second, and the Falcon is third. I still agree with IC that Falcon is
the
first.
Falcon is the first. Yeah, the Falcon is the first.
So, I need to ask our resident Trekkie what he thought of the trailer, if it actually enticed him to go, hey, I'd like to go see this.
It did, honestly. All I got to say is Donald Glover, man. Genius casting. That's some of the best casting.
Yes.
Iron Man, that was some really good casting. I am very excited to see him play young Lando. So that's all they got to do to entice me in to see the movie, is give me more of that.
So what Nudie Rudy's going to do is he's going to get the timestamps of when Donald Glover's in the movie and just walk in, watch it during those, go out, get some popcorn and stuff, come back in, be like, I got to be in there for Donald Glover in this scene.
I will say that I already knew he was going to be playing the role, obviously, but to see a little bit more of Lando, yeah, that was kind of cool. I mean, I was already psyched for that casting, but
Did anybody notice it's just a brief glimpse, but the nose of the Falcon is different. It's a full.
I saw that too. It looked a little different to me, but I don't know what yours. It looked more sharp to me, actually.
It didn't have the cutout in the middle. It was solid. Which apparently somebody got asked about it and said basically like, oh, that was just extended cargo space when he got it.
Huh. Interesting.
I love Polyfuse saying people who compare Star Trek and Star Wars need to get slapped.
They're two completely different stories, two completely different worlds, two completely different franchises. There's no reason to compare.
There is no comparison.
Son of Maku brings up that before Battle Yavin. So thank you for the clarification on that. I am a noob today. Yes.
I was going with something about Baby Yoda, so I didn't know what it was.
Big Baby Yoda.
That's good. Baby Yoda, I have no idea.
Part of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Because I'm like, well, what in the Star Wars verse starts with Y? I'm like, Yoda. I'm like, what else in the Star Wars verse starts with Y? I got nothing. We're going with Yoda. When in doubt, go with Yoda.
Dang, Jack dropping knowledge, dude. The prongs on the front of a YT 1300 are cargo bays.
Right, that's what I was saying, but like this was the extended one, so did he mod it and put on different cargo bays? I don't know.
He could have. It would make sense to make it a smuggling ship, maybe.
And Polyfuse says, yes, there's another thing that starts with Y, the Y wing. You can't forget the other.
Oh, I can forget that. I shouldn't forget that, but I could easily forget that.
Yeah, we forget a lot of things, but no, yeah, let's go on. Our next big trailer that came out this week, and actually came out today, was Incredibles 2. So, and they got Big Baby Y-Wing in the chat room. So the Incredibles 2 got a new trailer today. More story given. Same thing again. This actually, I didn't like the last trailer, and I actually like this trailer better because it gives me a little bit more explanation as to what's actually going on. I know there's a ton of Jack that's what this trailer showed. So, but it I like the whole that it's not just a role reversal where it's like, oh, now Elastigirl wants to be the superhero. They actually explain why she's the one out there and why the father's at home. So, what's going on? Okay, so who watched the Incredibles trailer?
I did.
Nope, I didn't.
I have to say, my favorite part in the whole thing, the thing that felt most real to me, is when he's doing the homework and he's like, that's not how you do it. We're supposed to do it this way. Why would you change that? I don't understand.
You can't change
that. Is every person in America trying to understand, every parent in America who's trying to understand Common Core math. That is them.
And that's the funny thing. Yeah, he's doing a math problem and he's doing it, and he's like, no, Dad, they want us to do it like this. The book shows. And he's like, that's not how I was taught.
It's math. Math is math.
Why do I have to write my math out in sentences and create new equations just to get the same freaking answer that 3 minus 2 is,
I can get real nerdy on you if you want.
Oh, Son of Maku hated the new Incredibles trailer.
Yeah,
did you hate it because you felt it gave too much information, Son of Maku, or did you just you're not excited for the story plot that they're doing? Go ahead, Zorro.
Well, I think it gave too much away. I think and look, I'm not as big as an Incredibles fan as everybody else seems to be. I haven't been waiting for it for years. But I think, like, if you can't figure out who the bad guy is from that trailer, you weren't paying attention.
Yeah. Well, I still think that's just a small piece of the film. I think it's going to flip on its head for what the actual story is, because wasn't it like kind of revealing bad guy's voice from what I watched it earlier, but
if you can't figure out who's under the mask,
yeah,
you weren't paying attention.
Okay, that's what you're saying. Sonamaku says I love these trailers, and Polyfuse says people who think babies are cute and funny are people who don't have babies. So, and we're getting even more Star Wars knowledge from Jack Malice.
He is dropping like just all kinds of Star Wars knowledge in the chat right now. Like a lot of deep, like, especially when you get onto starships. He loves talking about starships, so it's actually his wheelhouse right now in the chat.
And they had to. He says too much Jack. in the trailer.
I-
Although my favorite scene from the trailer was the trying to find Jack by using a chocolate chip cookie. So-
Yeah. I like the Edna mode at the very end because I love Edna mode. At the very end, and he's like, "What is this? What is this word? I don't understand." And he lights on fire, and she's like, "It means fire." Robert,
Of course.
it means fire.
Being that his name is Jack Malice has said there's never too much Jack. So,
Leave Mr. Malice be. No.
so, yeah. So let's move on to a little unheard of one. I want to get Beacon's talk on this. This was something from Son of Maku turned on and or Big Papa Matt that turned on to us, and Beacon dropped it for us yesterday. But the Hearts Beat Louder trailer that came out with Nick Offerman in it looks kind of interesting. Looks like I want your thoughts on it because you're the big Nick Offerman fan. And
you those who know me know I love me some Nick Offerman. And Ron Swanson is my spirit animal. But the movie looks amazing. It looks like just you don't get a whole lot from the trailer, so that's kind of what's part of it. That's cool. It just gives you enough to make you want to find out more about it. But it appears like it's Nick Offerman trying to connect with his daughter, and from what I got out of it, it's like him trying to push her to chase her dreams of becoming a musician and not letting her give up on her dreams of becoming a musician. And it looks very much like it's a more serious role for Offerman. I think the trailer actually said something like in a role you've never seen him in before or something like that. And it looks like one of those just like feel good, inspiring movies, and it looks fun. It's got a lot of singing in it, so Jack Malice won't like it, but the rest of us will. Looks like it's got a lot of music in it, but yeah, it looks like it's just a fun feel good movie, and I'm sure there's going to be more complexity to it behind the story, but yeah, it looks like a good movie. I can't wait to check it out. So
I think Offerman was making the movie so he can get his ballot in for Epic Beardo for next year off of that.
That's true.
Off of that beard that he has.
That's true.
In the film. That thing's a beast.
It is.
Did anybody else check out the Hearts Beat Loud trailer?
No, that one I missed. I missed. I saw the rest of them, but I did miss that one, so I'll have to check it out later.
Yeah, I don't think I even heard about it until we were doing sound check, but we'll pretty much go see anything Nick Offerman is in. So
yeah.
Sonamaku says you get a great song. I'm assuming in the trailer. I don't remember the song because I did watch it.
It's Hearts Beat Loud.
Okay,
is the name of the song. Yeah.
So no, it is worthwhile. Go look it up on YouTube. Heart Beats Loud.
Hearts Beat Loud.
Go look it up. It looks fun, interesting, and will probably be an enjoyable movie to watch. And it's Nick Offerman's inside of it. So it's
I'll be honest. I'll probably weep.
It looks like one of those. It does look like one of those type of movies that will have you needing to take a box of tissues to just for the emotional aspect of things.
But that's okay. It's good to watch one of those movies every now and again.
So Jack brings up another point. According to the Star Wars Essential Guide to Vehicles and Vessels, the Falcon cargo section was modified by Solo to accommodate dual concussion middle tubes. Yes.
Isn't that what I said?
I was asking.
And its heart beats loud. So they're repeating on me again.
That's okay.
Let's have some fun with this. Let's talk about the trailer that everybody was talking about this week. Of excitement to come out. That I don't know where the excitement was coming from. This was on another the heist type of film to me in terms of the movie that you and Sonamaku are you and I am losing it. Let's talk about Meg.
Oh gosh.
Meg.
The best line I saw for it was, literally there's an article titled Meg author defends movie from seething trailer haters. So it's not good.
I'm just letting you know, courtesy of Family Guy, every time you say Meg, I'm gonna.
Shut up, Meg.
All right,
Man, you that up.
So yeah, we got Jason Statham with a giant shark and a megalodon.
Megalodon.
Yeah. A lot of shark shadows in this movie.
Ugh, giant squid, randomly.
Are they like some community living underwater type?
Yeah.
What's the whole thing with the beginning of the trailer?
I don't even know.
What it looked like.
I don't know.
Research station, I think they said.
I saw at least 3 giant animals. There was the megalodon,
There was
there's
the
the giant
South
squid, and there's a
Shot, I
giant
mentioned
head too.
Yeah.
Like, what? Did they wake? Is this a combination of Godzilla and what was the one with LL Cool J where they were studying sharks?
Oh,
Deep Blue Sea,
Blue Sea.
Yeah.
which has the greatest scene of all when in a
Samuel
shark movie,
Jackson.
Samuel Jackson.
giving the amazing speech. We gotta go out there and get that shark. Roll.
The best thing about that was there was an episode of the Clerks animated series where they kept having a guy. There was a shark, and they kept having a guy pop up to give a speech, and every time he gave a speech, the shark would jump out and eat him. It was always like a guy made like Samuel L. Jackson, and so I was just like, "Thank you for the throwback to Deep Blue Sea."
So, the Son of Maku brings up Meg has Rainn Wilson automatic cool points, which that
I
looks
do
like
like
the
that
one really
casting,
cool
yeah.
part of it. And but Jason Statham, and we were kind of joking about this during sound check, like, what's he gonna go out there and punch the giant shark? But first he's got to drive at it. Like,
He's gonna drive the submarine into it and then kick it in the face. That's what's gonna. What's gonna happen?
yeah, that's the only way to stay
Is it
alive.
Transporter meets Jaws? I mean, is that what we've come to?
Basically,
Yes.
Transporter meets Giant Jaws. That was actually the one cool part of the entire trailer, was the very end when you see, there's the Jaws-ish image of the shark coming up with its mouth open, and then it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and you're like, holy crap, that's a big shark.
Yeah, well, because it's
Megalodon.
a dino shark.
It looks like Sharknado underwater. That's what it looks like to me. Like,
Oh, why isn't Tara Reid in it?
well, that might make it better.
But yeah, I think it's one of those ones that didn't actually show really anything. So who knows?
It didn't.
So
It didn't.
Well,
It
actually
showed
turns out to be the best movie this summer.
Yeah, right.
I just love they find a living fossil. Thought this was extinct for millions of years. Let's go kill it.
I think he actually says we gotta go find him and kill the son of a bitch.
Yeah.
What the hell?
yeah,
Great
no, it's
scientific discovery.
Yeah.
well, it's too big for them to house it anywhere. So, and it's gonna start eating things by the tons, I guess.
It's been around for a long time. It's probably not a problem.
That's a big fish. Oi!
Cinemaku's
Make it bigger.
Yeah, Sonamaku says he's going to smolder at it while driving the sub into it.
Hey, the smolder. It worked for Flynn Rider. Why can't it work for Jason?
That's awesome.
Well, you've got Jason Statham, and what was the movie Crank, where he had to keep moving? Now you got a shark that always has to keep moving, otherwce sharks die.
That's
So
what he said.
combine Crank with Jaws, and that's what we're getting.
It's the only way he can stay alive.
Okay, moving on.
Oh, jeez.
So the other one that looked really interesting that the trailer came out yesterday for, and I know 2 of you guys are out on this, but Dark Crimes with Jim Carrey,
Okay.
I think looks for the acting portion from Jim Carrey and also the guy that's playing what I'm assuming is the bad guy. I think the acting looks phenomenal for it.
Mhm.
It looks like not so much a murder mystery, but
It's dark.
it's dark.
It's
a dark
It's a dark. Yeah, it's dark.
But
I think you're right. I think the acting looks phenomenal. I'm glad to see Jim Carrey back. But I know Jim Carrey's gone through a lot the past few years, we're not going to lie, but has he gone away from comedy? Is he starting to go?
Well, he kind of made it seem like he wasn't going to be acting at all anymore. So just to be able to see him in something gets me a little excited.
Yeah, but it is very dark, very, gritty. It's got a lot of upsetting content for
Although I
some
don't
people.
know how well that accent's going to go over. The accent he was using in
Yeah.
That was
very Girl with the Dragon Tattoo vibe from the trailer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but here's the thing that I got from the trailer, and you guys haven't brought up, but it almost I got a American Psycho vibe where like, is this really happening? Are these murders really happening? Because they even say that, did the murder really happen? And I'm wondering if it's going to be one of those spin things where if things are really happening, or if it's just something within his character's head, or that's the vibe I got.
So is it kind of like that? What was that Johnny Depp movie, Secret Window?
No, it's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Secret Window?
Secret Window was a Stephen King novella.
Yeah, where he plays the writer that he thinks is being harassed, but you don't know what's real and what's in his head. It's kind of got that vibe.
It's him, but anyway.
Yeah, it's him.
Yeah. But I mean, I like both actors. I like Jim Carrey going back into acting. I like the guy that's cast as the bad guy. Whatever.
It looked like good casting. It looked like good acting. To your point, I mean, I looked at it and I go, this looks really interesting until he gets to the parts with some of the crimes that are actually being committed against women. And I'm like, I'm out. Like
that. I
don't need that in my life.
I get it.
Yeah, as Zorro brought up before the cast, it gave a very 8mm vibe to it, and that
much so.
I would be if it did cross, like if I went and saw it and it did cross that into that kind of film, I probably wouldn't stay in the theater.
Yeah, I just can't do it, man. I don't need that.
So,
I don't know if I'll see it in the theater, but I might watch it at home, and then that way I don't feel like I wasted my money if I turn it off.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like if I watch it at home, it's going to
bring that up. Polyfused is Jim Carrey Riddler.
I actually liked.
Give poor Jim a chance.
It wasn't as bad as some of the. I would take that movie over Bat Nipples any day. Put it that way.
Over the Majestic.
I mean, I liked when Jim was kind of starting to try and do a little bit more serious.
Was that number 23?
Number 23, I liked.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
it was different.
Which the funny thing is, bringing up Bat Nipples, that the director of number 23 was the director of the Bat Nipples films.
Oh, that's crazy.
So, yeah, Joel Schumacher.
His best movie to me ever is always going to be, and this one may top it acting wise. I don't know about story wise, but Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is his best movie ever.
Yeah.
I did not think that you would have. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Titanic, but I am a huge fan of the chemistry between Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio. I didn't think it would get better than that chemistry wise. He topped it with her in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
He is a much better actor than people give him credit for. So
he is.
They're bringing up Lemony Snicket.
Who beat Carrey for the Oscar with the Truman Show? Because everybody thought he was going to win.
And which one?
When he was in the Truman Show, everybody kind of thought he was going to win the Oscar.
They were saying the buzz. Yeah, was that I don't remember. He didn't even get nominated for Truman Show. So. It was a turn. It was the first time seeing him do that type of, a little bit more of a serious tone type of acting. So they were like, so Molly Boss is better than Nick Cage.
Somebody had to mention Nick Cage at some point.
Yep, it was bound to happen. Yeah, so that's, like I said, a lot of movie trailers came out this week. And you guys should go check them out on YouTube and see what your thoughts were. If you liked any of the trailers that we were talking about, if they're movies that you're going to go see, let us know. Drop a line in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube later. At our YouTube channel.
Of them, which was the extended Deadpool 2.
Yeah. So, but we have something else to bring back. Dun, 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 yeah. Haven't been doing it for a while, but we decided that this week, being that it is International Robotics week to have a nerd fight. We're always looking for something to have a nerd fight about. What nerd fights are is each one of the people on this cast picks a combatant to go out and hit up Twitter and Instagram and social media and go vote for my guy because of this. And we want you to vote for this guy and not that guy because of this. So we actually have a nerd fight amongst each other to try and see who picks the best choice for the fight. This week's fight, in commemoration of the International Robotic Week, we are going to do best robot from TV and film. I want to know in the chat room. What's that?
Does Anderson Cooper count?
Oh God, no. So, and so I want to know in the chat room what your guys' picks are for best robot. How do you guys want to go in the order? I'll go last.
Oh, will you?
I will.
Really?
I will concede my pick because it was going to be a fight between the co-host and the host, and I decided since he won't be here next week, I can just talk trash on his pick next week.
Like you'll talk trash.
I won't. Well, you know what? Do we want to give first pick to Masonic Vader because he really, really wanted to be onto a
Nobody
nerd
else is
fight?
gonna pick it, so it's
Yeah, nobody else is gonna pick it, so we might as well do it.
Nobody else is going to pick it. In fact, when he said that, I actually thought he was asking for the pastry. And I was confused. And then I was hungry. And then I realized what he was talking about. And I was like, oh, yeah, that one. So
Masonic Vader picked Twinkie from Buck Rogers.
That's a pastry is a bit of a stretch.
He said that I can't remember what the phrasing. He said Twinkie was awesome. Something like that. So that's his choice.
Chat channel calling out Mecha Godzilla and Baymax. Gotta love that.
Yes.
Jack, of course, knows who you guys want, so he's trying to claim it.
I don't think Jack's getting it.
oh,
I think Beacon's taking it.
that's a good pick.
Unless they fight for it. Yeah, it's a good one.
That's a good robot. He's a good little robot dog.
Yeah, so the chat room has to decide who they'd rather have, Baymax or Mechagodzilla or K9, since they keep
Nice.
since they're kind of so they got to vote on that. Who do we want to give the next pick to?
I'll take it. Nobody else is. We kind of figured out anyway. I'm going with Marvin, the paranoid android, and the only reason I'm picking him, it's kind of an end around. He's technically in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie, but I did not like that version a whole lot. The book version, on the other hand, is fantastic.
Too bad you have to go based off of the movie version because we're doing TV and films. Shush.
I fully endorse your pick.
I do.
Hold on, let him talk because he doesn't have as strong of a mic right now.
He's depressed. He's 37 times the age of the universe due to running stupid errands through time for all his humans. He's sarcastic. Here I am,
bro. Planet.
Yeah. He's one of my favorite robots in literature, film, TV, whatever.
And yeah, I have to call out to Priden in the chat channel. I literally have a D&D character right now that is based off of Marvin, a love child between Marvin and Eeyore. So, and he's a bard, and it's fantastic, and we've had a lot of fun so far. The campaign.
There's a part in one of the books where he kills other robots simply by explaining his worldview to them, and then they kill themselves.
Yes.
It's too funny. Funny. All right, you go next, Rudy.
Well, I'm gonna have to go a little old school for myself and pick Johnny Five from the Short Circuit.
Yes.
All right.
Big fan of Johnny Five.
Johnny Five alive.
Yeah. All right. So who took Nudie
Johnny
with an
Five
off-the-wall
is
pick for 500?
Yeah.
No, you know what? Johnny Five's a good pick. That's
a great pick
through my head as well. So,
and I feel like if you pick Johnny Five, you should get Wally as well. So, I feel like Wally was a ripoff. Okay.
Somehow you also get
hey, Johnny talked a little bit more.
No disassemble.
Come on,
Oh
a
gosh.
military war robot hit by lightning, and he becomes pacifist, just learning humanity, learning how to live and come alive. Man, you can't be a better robot than that.
We'll move on. Let's go. Super. You go ahead and choose your.
All right. Well, I had two, and I'm going with one because I prefer the movies more over the one from the other one. But I loved the robot when I was 5. I love the robot now, so I'm going with R2-D2 because you don't find a better robot in the Star Wars universe. He'll save your butt, and he'll do it with snark. But I am going to give an honorable mention to Sonny the robot from iRobot because Alan Tudyk is amazing. His voice work is amazing. And iRobot may not have been the greatest movie ever, but I wish that we could see him in more things.
He's in a ton of things. You just don't realize that you see him in so much.
Exactly.
I
But
mean,
that's
when
what I'm
he's,
saying.
when he's
His vocal work is incredible.
yeah, when he's just doing hey hey, just the chicken from Moana, and
I didn't even know that was him.
that's
There
him.
you go. The little evil king from the Candy Crush or whatever that Wreck-It Ralph game
Wreck-It
was.
Ralph.
No idea that was him.
Yeah.
Yes, honorable
Amazing.
mention to Alan
He's also the
Tudyk.
evil
Amazing. But what is your pick?
R2D.
Okay.
R2.
Wow.
Yeah, Super there's got a knack for picking the winner. So
Yeah. I think that's not the first time
Yeah.
she's picked R2.
The crowd
I
pleaser.
don't think so either. Yeah. So Beacon.
I'm going with the greatest robot of all time, the one and only Bender Bending Rodriguez from Futurama. He is the hands down best robot ever. He'll tell you if you ask him. There's nobody greater than Bender. Bender is great. Bender is great. Deal with it.
And you can
It's
fight my
amazing.
shiny metal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
If you don't agree.
So
He's amazing.
Yeah. No. I. That was my pick as well, and
I-
I decided to concede, so I didn't want to fight you.
I think if I had to go, well, I'll let you go because I think you may pick what my backup would have been.
No, I don't think it's gonna be. I'm gonna go a little different because once again, throwing back to what was said in the chat room earlier about like people that compare Star Wars and Star Trek need to be slapped, and I thought Nudie Rudy was gonna take this one, but the fact that he didn't, I will take it. And Data from Next Generation is that was my favorite character on the show growing up as a kid. So, and just seeing him learn about things and quizzically, and some of my favorite episodes from the Next Generation were Data doing the Sherlock Holmes on the holodeck. So,
Yes.
I liked his weird relationship with Tasha Yar in the first couple of seasons.
so
I thought you were going to pick the Borg, but
I know
that's
he's an android, but yes, he's still an artificial life form. So, Bright Eye says
Borg are
android, not a
robots.
robot. Yeah,
I don't.
Yes, the Borg or Cyborg. Come on.
Yeah.
Throw in the name.
yeah, I'm
Get
not
it straight, man. An android is a robot. A cyborg is not.
Nerd.
Damn straight.
Star Wars is better.
Now I will stab you.
What was their choice in the chat room? Did they decide Baymax or K9 or?
They didn't pick a consensus.
No, Baymax, Mecha Godzilla.
They
I
did
like
not.
the Danger Will Robinson one because
and or Baymax or K9.
Hell's a good.
Yeah, hell is a good one.
yeah, there's so many great robots.
You guys have a couple minutes to.
Well, if they don't pick one, they're going to go with which one I remember when I'm writing, and
It's probably
9
Baymax.
out of 10 is going to say Baymax is what I'm going to remember.
You got to get your poop in a scoop there, guys. All right.
Red Meepaw says, seeing as they don't ever win, they should go with Mecha Godzilla. If you voted and you actually went out and tweeted about it, you would you'd have a good chance to win. You guys have made some great picks. Pride Iron says Mecha Godzilla as well. So there's your pick. We got Meepaw saying they should go with it, and Prydine says Mechagodzilla. So I'm good with that. Harris is saying he goes T800.
Yes, you got
the father to John Connor. It says y'all need to promote. You do pick good stuff. Okay, yeah. So read the chat room when you guys are watching this. They have fun in there. Thank you guys so much for coming out on tonight's cast. Next week we'll be back to a more standardized format where it's going to be nerd news, because I don't think there'll be as many movie trailers coming out next week. And we will do updates on what's going on with the nerd fight. The nerd fight, as Super Hoovy and Freak brought up, she'll be writing up an article for it. We'll get it going, and it'll start on Sunday at midnight West Coast time, and it'll go for 2 weeks. So you'll be able to vote daily, and head on over to malice-corp.com and watch the fight on Twitter as we all talk about why you should vote for our people. So, and our characters. With that said, let's talk about where we can follow everybody. Sorry, my brain's out of it. Beacon, where can we follow you?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Beacon_MaliceCorp. You can also follow me on or friend me on PlayStation Network if you want to play some games at same thing, Beacon_MaliceCorp. You can also follow the Quest for 100 with Big Papa Matt and I, and that's at Quest for Movies. And you can follow this cast at MaliceCast on Twitter.
It's all written right there. And you should really go check out Quest for 100's new episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, or podcast.com, wherever you like listening to your favorite audio casts.
We appreciate your 5-star reviews. Thank you. Do it.
Oh, Harris double down. Igor says movie trailers and no Wes Anderson. Boo.
You're supposed to talk about Wes Anderson.
Well, he had a new movie come out a couple weeks ago.
I'm still waiting to see it because it just now hit theaters here where I live. So,
okay,
I'll let you know.
Yeah. Nudie Rudy, where can we follow you?
You can follow me at Nudie Rudy on Twitter and on Instagram, and please make sure to follow the official Malice Corp Instagram page as well, Instagram account.
Yeah, that's on Instagram at Malice_Corp. Where can we follow you, Mr. Zorro?
At ICZorro on Instagram, Twitter. Put up a lot of pictures of the trip that I took to France. Really cool stuff. But it's going to be getting back to normal. So, yeah, more nerd stuff, more, still some wine stuff.
Nice. Super. Where can we follow you?
Follow me on Twitter at SuperHoovieandNet. You can follow me on Instagram too at SuperHoovieandFreak. But right now it's all NashCon. I'm watching all my friends as they're at the NashCon convention for Supernatural, and apparently they're all in chaps. So that's awesome.
Interesting.
I came home from work and I turned on, and my friends all tagged me in a bunch of pictures of the cast of Supernatural doing their panels with chaps on. So nice. I was like, well, that's what you want to come home to.
Well, yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
So you can, as always, like Beacon brought up, make sure to follow this channel, this cast at MaliceCorp on Twitter or at MaliceCast on Twitter. Follow our great producer, Jack Malice, at Jack_Malice on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at Mest_MaliceCorp. And you can also follow us on Instagram at Mess5150. I thank you guys for coming out. Please go check out all of our great friends. Battle Mage Brewery, if you're ever in the San Diego area. Great place to hang out, geek out, and have a couple brews. Or make sure to check out Turbo Comics on Facebook, and you can also check out Sky High Comics. Great resources. Always go to your local comic shops. Support the people that are in your area. They're there doing a favor for geeks that they have some place to go and talk about comic books and all these different types of things. Maybe it's magic, maybe they have gameplay or something like that. So do support your local comic shops. With that being said, thank you so much for coming on, and you guys keep nerding on, and we will see you shortly.
Shortly, as in next Friday, one week from now,
or next Monday if it's Walking Dead. Or
yeah. Just come back to our Twitch channel here. Check us out.
Just come back.
Yeah, stay nerdy out
So
there.
long, and thanks for all the fish.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.